Well, hey there, everybody. Welcome back to Out in the Garage. So, wanted to go over some few things with you guys before I kind of walk you around the truck to let you know, show you what's going on. This made me scratch my head, and then I realized why. So, this was wrapped up behind the seat in a little old pillowcase or something. So, I unwrapped it, and well, it's a dipstick. And I went and looked underneath the hood. Well, it has a dipstick, but I'll be right back. This is the dipstick that was in there. Yeah, that's not going to check anything. I don't know what happened. I don't know whether somebody bent it, broke it, cut it off intentionally, but evidently this is the checker stick, and this is the plug the oil hole in the side of the motor stick. So kind of crucial. I did find this and I didn't throw it away thinking it was just a junky old thing. So when going through the truck, I started tearing things off that weren't needed. One was we took off the aftermarket mirrors. And funnily enough, this side actually had the appropriate rubber grommet to fill in the hole there. So that kind of surprised me. The other side, however, just had some like 16 gauge steel. They just bent over and looked like super glued to the paint. It worked. It was on there, and it probably kept a good bit of moisture out, but why they couldn't have done it with two of those, I don't know. But anyway, you ever bought a project or gotten into a project and partway in, you're like, what in the hell was I thinking? Why did I get myself into this? Oh, we're there already. Mostly just because I'm feeling a little overwhelmed. And there's probably a tiny little bit of buyer's remorse in there, solely based off of I didn't look at it close enough. And I think I was a little overexcited when I actually went and saw it, and it looked pretty good. We'll go over the damages here shortly, but I have a pile of sheet metal here next to me. New floor pans for left and right side. Driver's side, completely shot. Passenger side, starting to go, but mostly there. These go underneath of the floor pans. This connects to the rocker panel. This connects to the floor pan. And it's a terrible design because it's just designed to harbor every bit of dirt and grime and moisture that could possibly collect in there forever. And it doesn't really have a good way of draining out because they have little lips turning it up for strength. So, yeah, these are just pretty much all but gone on the driver's side and are mostly gone on the passenger side. This is the front cab mount for the driver's side, and the little inspection cover that goes along with it plugs that up. Kind of like such. So once you get it in there, you get everything painted, screw that on, probably put some weather adhesive on there just to keep water from getting in there. But yeah, this is like Wi-Fi underneath of there at the moment. So all of that has to go in. Went ahead and bought outer cab corners for both sides. One side is rustier than the other, so I don't know if I'm going to have to use the entirety of the cab corners. More than likely, I will. The driver's side inner cab corner looks good. The passenger side inner cab corner does not. It's got a lot of sightline in it. And then I went last night and picked up just a sheet of 16 gauge 12 by 24 weldable cold rolled steel from a local home improvement store, because I know I'm going to need a little bit more here and there to patch in where some of these don't quite reach, or just general patches or just patches in general. Like I said, I may have to order the one inner cab corner just because it's shaped very much like this. So it has the curve and then flange and then it's radiused. I'm not a metal worker, and that's kind of why I'm in the oh crap, what did I get myself into mode, because I'm a little tiny way bit over my head. It started now. We're going to get through it. We're going to figure it out. whether I've got to burn 1,000 holes through sheet metal before I get it right and, get it done, or I just have to buy big copper bars to back everything in so I can weld it without blowing through. I don't know. We'll have to figure that one out as we go. But let me take you around the truck, show you where the status of everything is. We are hoodless. We are glassless. Well, the side glasses are still in, but the windshield is now Wi-Fi, and the rear glass is out as well. Those are in the house. I didn't have to take them out right now. They needed to come out because all the weather stripping around the side, the fronts and the back was cracked. It was separating. The front had like 1.5 inch gap in the bottom, kind of in the middle, where everything had gotten so hard it shrunk and broke. So they need to be replaced, and I figured I'm going to be doing a lot of welding inside of that little box there. So the more smoke and crap that can come out, dust, smoke, fumes, the better. So haven't done much engine-wise. I did change the oil, so we have fresh oil change. Mainly did that out of pure curiosity to find out if the magic check stick was correct, and it was, because you can adjust that little stopper on there. And the problem with the stopper is it's not meant to actually stop the oil. It's just kind of a dead stop, so you can set it to check your oil. I took out all the garbage that was here. There is no more weird orange wiring going everywhere. Literally all of that orange wiring that was zip tied a million ways to Sunday up there all went to this stupid PA animal noise horn, which that's now in the trash. I was thinking about, potentially wiring it up and testing it, but shaking it around, it sounded like the speaker was shot or something. But let's look inside. Okay, so I just got done tearing out the seat cover. And as you can tell, seat's pretty tore up. Funny thing is it looks like there's a second vinyl cover underneath of it that's tan, that's in better shape than it looks like it's black, but I think it's actually green. And the seat belts are actually green. But the interior looks black. Now, transmission tunnel looks fine. A little bit of customization there and there for fittage. But, that's loose as all get out. So it makes the transmission feel extremely sloppy, but I think if I tighten that up, we'll be doing a lot better. The floor, well, it's about a 1/2 inch thick of just what used to be floor. That's my garage floor. This is a, we'll loosely say patch panel that was put in here before. So I'm pretty sure everything underneath here is equally as dustified as this is. Let me take around the other side. Sorry if I sound funny because I am in a dust mask because of mouse poop, dirt, dust, old seat cover, mold, all that good stuff. This side, rusty, but if you can tell, the only place you can see floor is here. So this side is a whole lot better than the other side. Now this, I don't know whether that's covering rust or that's old sound deadener. So I'm going to scrape all that off and see. But that's the side that has a lot of problems. Okay, so first off, no gas tank. So we've stripped the seats out. Gas tank's gone. Basically, I'm going to be doing a lot of welding, cutting sparks and stuff, and having, a 1/4 tank of gas back here with very old, filler neck fittings and all of that. I didn't really feel comfortable with that. I don't want to burn it down before I get to do anything with it. So here is a better view of what the floor is. So we have some, epoxy cheesecloth stuff going on. I don't know, probably fiberglass, matte and resin, not sure. There's a little bit more up there. And then all of that needs to come out. Thankfully, it all covers basically up to the transmission tunnel and down here to the rocker panel. So all of that gets torn out and then basically will cut into the lip back here to get that to fit. Now, up there, it looked like it runs roughly about halfway up the gas pedal and then comes straight over. So I need to take the dimmer switch out, and that is going to have to be addressed as well. So some of my excess spare metal is probably going to go to fixing that. We're going to take out the sharp jagged edges on that and see if we can find a boot of some sorts to go over that. I'm assuming this was original column shift. I don't know. That's a heinous amount of hacking and chopping, so something is different than what was originally in here. Driver's side does not look too bad. The passenger side, we do have some rust coming through there. And then I'll take you around to the other side and show you that. And I'm sure somebody's going to scream at me for doing this, but basically I have taken and jacked up. Now, I'm not jacking the truck up per se, but I have put pressure underneath of it to lift it up, to try to get that roughly in somewhere of a location to where it's supposed to be. Because like I said, that is just freaking mostly gone. There was nothing sitting on the cab mount itself. So I wanted to get that, raise the cab up when I start, welding stuff back in. I can try to meet said, locations a little bit better. Over here, our main issue is right here. The rest of it is fairly solid, and there's no issues up there. So I think it's basically just going to be, come in, cut to where I know I have good metal, and I'm probably going to use the whole floor pan anyway. We do have some issues there. So I'm just basically going to cut, around to where I know I have good solid metal. And then the other issue is we have some, just random sheet metal there. So I'm assuming some of this is going away as well. Oh, there's that rusty spot there. So we shut the door. Burn. I really want to get some sound deadening in there to shut that up. So this is what's left of kind of that cab bracing. So we're just basically gonna have to cut it off back here. Hopefully it goes up far enough that we can tie into this and put some cab bracing back in. Obviously that's been tinkered with too. The other side is even rustier and more far gone. This is the inner cab corner on this side, which we have a lot missing there. But on this side, it's not too bad. It's just missing that little corner. But for me to make said corner is going to be very difficult. So any other video, yeah, I'm down here on the floor. Any other video, found that little chrome T-handle and was like, what is this? Do you guys know what this is? Oh, wait. That's the pull handle for the exhaust cutout. So you pull that little handle in there and it opens up that exhaust cutout in there. So yeah, that's all gonna have to come out. Nobody around here is going to pass that inspection. So basically I'm gonna have, and you can see it's been leaking terribly, both front and rear, because this is like cast iron and regular exhaust pipe. And they got clamps on there, but you aren't going to be able to crimp down cast iron onto that. So they should have been welded. Thankfully they weren't. So I can rip all that out. So basically I'm going to have to get a piece of pipe to go in here and go back to here, clamp that on, get another generic muffler hanger thing. So one other concerning issue I have down here is all of that is just absolutely drenched in gear oil. It's not motor oil, it's definitely gear oil, and I can't tell where it's coming from. I think just every seal in this transmission is gushing, and it's been leaking for a long time. It's kept the transmission tunnel from rusting out and the center of the floor pans from rusting out, so that's a bonus. Some aluminum crap put over there and the other cab brace, so that's needs to be gone. The good thing is, that inside cab corner looks pretty good. Yeah, rear end's leaking. It's a mess. So yeah, small bit of regret and huge pile of terror. So, if you guys have ever gone into a project like this, I'm sure some of you guys have kind of hit this as well. And like I said, I'm into it. We're going to get it done. It's going to happen one way or another, and we'll figure it out. But there's an awful lot to figure out. So, never been one to back down from a mechanical challenge, technical challenge like this. So we're just going to keep pressing forward. Like I said, I've got a bunch of metal here. I've got more than enough to get started. The floor pans, the cab corner, and the cab bracing are a priority. The cab corners, we can get to that when we get to that. But I want to get the inside of the truck solid, and I want to get it to where, it's actually sitting on something up front. Then we'll go from there. I would walk you around the body, but that's a long ways away. And when I first looked at it, I was like, it's a pretty straight truck. No. This thing has got, it's got a lot of dings, creases, dents, ripples. There's nothing straight on it. Except for the straight pipes when you pull that lever. But anyway, guys, that's just kind of a talking head video for you, letting you know where I'm at, what's going on. Right now, I'm going to get in. I'm going to start pulling out. I got to get the gas pedal out, so that's kind of out of my way. See how much is involved with pulling the brake and the clutch pedal out. If it's easy, I'll rip those out just so all of that is out of my way and I'm not, trying to work around stuff in there. I'm going to be pulling my hair out as is, so I want to make my life as easy as possible. So hopefully all 3 pedals will come out, and then I can just trace out the floor pan, know kind of exactly where it's going to be sitting, and then just start hacking metal out and go from there. We're making this one up as we go along. So until next time, guys, everybody enjoy themselves, get out there, tinker around, do something, and don't be afraid to challenge yourself. Just know that sometimes it's going to be a little scary. See you guys.